All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes on social media. My name is Judson Powell, and I ask you to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification button, and also hit the love button. Love one another. Okay, I want to talk some more about this Monarch programming that I was talking about with Kobe Bryant. And everybody kind of got mad at me, and they were like, "Oh, you called him a warlock, and this man is he's a family man, and blah 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 blah." And but he was a high level Illuminati warlock, as example by him, and I mentioned this in one of the other videos, as example by him flashing the signs. And like I was telling people, it's like, look, if you're not in the gang, you don't flash the gang signs, right? Okay, unless you're ignorant and you don't know. But there were too many pictures of him flashing Illuminati signs. And even when they did the tribute to him, Alicia Keys, there's a picture going around the internet. Alicia Keys was flashing an Illuminati sign, the New World Order sign. All right, so, and this was during the time that they were doing the tribute to Kobe Bryant. So now, and I'm not, I'm just putting this out there, and I want y'all to think about it. But I'm not going to use Kobe Bryant, but I'm going to show you how this MK Ultra programming, Monarch programming works. And basically, one of the reasons why they call it Monarch programming is because they're taking a caterpillar and turning it into a butterfly, right? And so what they do is they get young people, and they get these young people, and then they have a handler and they have a program. And usually the handler is either somebody that's already been programmed, or sometimes it's their parents. For example, in the case of Beyonce's father was her handler and her programmer. All right, and it always starts off. They get young people. They get people. So now she has like her, and she flashes signs. Her performances have satanic and Illuminati things. I hate to use the word satanic. I don't want to say satanic, but they have spirituality things incorporated into her shows, and so does her husband Jay-Z. In fact, a lot of people believe that Beyonce was a reward to Jay-Z for doing his job in the Illuminati. All right. So now, but I'm going to use Nick Cannon because I was talking about basically, I feel like the whole thing with Kobe is related to the pharmaceutical industry. And I believe that once again, like I said on the other video, the Lisa Left Eye Lopez was also done away with because of the pharmaceutical industry, as well as Nipsey Hussle. And I explained the reasons why. If you want to just go back and look at my other videos, you can see it. But anyway, so I want to talk about, and then I said in the torch, basically for the whole thing concerning Dr. Sebi, and Dr. Sebi's information was passed on to Nick Cannon. Now, let me explain something to you. Okay, so the way this Monarch program works, because once again, you're taking the caterpillar, the youngster, turning them into this Monarch butterfly, into this, to this beautiful thing. All right, so now, and basically they get kids who are very young, which goes along and fits, like I mentioned before, it fits Kobe Bryant, it fits Shaquille O'Neal, and it also fits anybody basically who's young. I'm sorry, I meant to say LeBron James, anybody who's young. So that's why they go around flashing these signs, because they have been indoctrinated. If somebody walks up to you, and you're an 18-year-old kid, and they're offering you millions of dollars, what are you going to say? What are you going to do? All right, but anyway, so back to the Nick Cannon thing. Okay, we all know that Nick Cannon started off on the show All That on Nickelodeon, right? and he was a child prodigy, a child star or whatever. Once he was indoctrinated, then he was able, to make movies like Drumline and stuff like that. But he had already been indoctrinated. Okay, his wife, Mariah Carey, also was a Monarch program person. Who was her handler? Her handler was Tommy Mottola, her husband, who was a high level person in the entertainment industry, and a high level person, as reported by Michael Jackson in a press conference when he talked about Tommy Mottola being the devil. And he said, and if you go back, those tapes are online, and he talked about how Tommy Mottola did not want him to eclipse, who, by the way, Michael Jackson was also programmed. Okay, this stuff has been going on. In fact, some of the first people that were programmed were in the 50s, including, some believe, Marilyn Monroe. Because what they do is, like I said, they take young people who are impressionable, who have talent, and then what they do is and I guess the indoctrination, from what I have read, is like your handler has certain code words that they feed into you. The same thing with R. Kelly was Aaliyah's handler. Okay, Aaliyah was MK programmed. She was Monarch programmed. All right, and she was programmed to do whatever they told her to do. And eventually, once again, her demise. And here's the thing: the other thing that they have in common, not only are they young, not only are they programmed, but then once they're through with them, they replace them. And so that's why I was trying to explain. So as soon as Kobe eclipsed, as soon as LeBron eclipsed Kobe's record, right? Bam, they got rid of him. Okay, because they couldn't trust him anymore because he was about to go into the money. All right. Same thing. You can go through a lot of different people. I talked about Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and I made a mistake. I said she died in a plane crash. She actually died in a car accident. And Aaliyah died in a plane crash. All of these people. And then the other thing is they can make money posthumously, just like Marilyn Monroe. Right now, to this day, Marilyn Monroe makes more money dead than she ever did alive. All right, her image and likeness, whoever owns her image and likeness is cleaning up. The same thing with a lot of these other stars. For example, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's catalog, was referred back to her record company, Clive Davis. And so now he is the one, and she's an iconic figure throughout the world. Maybe not her image as much, but her music and her movies and all of that, they're still being played to this day. So you have to realize that, and like I said, the changing of the guard, it was a very poignant changing of the guard. She was also killed on the night of the Grammys, and on the night of the Grammys, she was also killed on the day of the Grammys, and on that day, right, there was a changing of the guard. They did it ceremoniously on film. They transferred the power from Whitney, and this was done by the handler. They transferred the power from Whitney to Brandy and Monica. Brandy's handler was her brother, Ray J. Ray J was a high-level handler. Kim Kardashian, all of these other people, you see, if you can look and you can see the similarities in all of these things. So you may not, if people are like, oh, I don't believe in all that stuff and whatever. You don't have to, but it exists, and there's records of it in the government. All right, that's how come in fact, somebody asked me to give things. The movie The Manchurian Candidate is about a person that's been programmed. And so basically, like I said, so they get young people. So Nick Cannon, like I said, he came from Nickelodeon. And then they're controlled with sex, homosexuality, different types of cruel behavior, right down to even being beaten. And so they're and basically until their handler gives the proper order or the proper code word or the proper code action, then they're basically signed. That's why you always get these things like they'll be very soft spoken and stuff like that, and never until, but then all of a sudden once the switch is turned on, then they're like these dynamic performers, and or these dynamic actors or actresses and things like that. And so that's how come when Orlando Brown, who was also a program child actor and actress. Y'all look at all the people that went through Disney, Raven Simone and all those people, Miley Cyrus, everybody that ever went through the programming. Miley Cyrus was handled by her father, and you could tell, and why would he not, just like, for example, there were certain things that she was doing, but why did he not care? Because he was already in. He was in. And like I said, and a lot of times these things, just like, people believe, like Aaliyah, R. Kelly was her handler, but her mother, a lot of people believe that it was her mother who indoctrinated her in. Why? Because of money. And her father was a music industry executive. So, so anytime you see a child star or a child, musician, actress, actor, whatever, 9 times out of 10, they've been Monarch programmed. And when you have people that have not been Monarch programmed, it makes it difficult for them to be able to control them. So that's where you get the people that never went through the indoctrination. Once they get in, they're harder to handle. So like people, I'm not putting, like Dave Chappelle, I ain't putting on no dress. I'm not doing that. But somebody who's already been, somebody who's already been indoctrinated into the Monarch programming, they go right ahead. They'll do anything you say, or anything that they're told to do. Why? Because they're programmed. So Orlando Brown, and we all see, like right now, he just accused my man of basically, having a sexual relationship with him, Nick Cannon. Right? And, they're both programmed. So in fact, he may not even know he did it. He may have done it and may not know. And like I said, and Mariah Carey, just like, look at all of these people have mental issues. They either have mental issues, they have sexual perversion or sexual deviation issues. And I'm talking about every single one of them. And somebody told me, oh, well, you can't say all. I can literally say that everybody who Disney purposely programs every single one of their actors and actresses. You can tell. And I'm not, but just go and look at the record and see how many people, they have sexual issues, like I said, or they have mental health issues. None of them are, there's nobody that went through the Disney studios that's normal. There's nobody that went through Nickelodeon that's normal. Everybody has some type of issues, like I said, either homosexuality, sexual deviance, or just downright crazy, or having mental breakdowns. Look at Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey has had mental issues and mental breakdowns since she was married to Tommy Mottola. And like I said, it was all about being able to program her. And he basically took her as his prize. Just like I said, like they gave, and then they gave her to Nick Cannon. That was his prize. Because everybody looked at that. You were like, well, why, they don't even look like a couple. They really don't. And of course, let me say that all of this is allegedly. put my disclaimer in there, allegedly. But we've seen the headlines and we know the stories. Anyway, 15 minutes is up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. hit the love button, because this world is crazy, y'all. So just, hit that love button. I love y'all.